what we've got here is a Harbor Freight parts washer. And the washer itself is pretty standard. Stamped steel. It's functional. The problem I've had is the pump. Now, the pump that comes with it is a pump that's made for fountains, water, H2O, not harsh solvents and chemicals. And that pump lasted a few hours, and then it wouldn't pump anymore. You just sit there and spin. So I took it back. They gave me another one. You're looking at it. And this one only lasted a few hours. And now all it does is sit there and spin and churn and churn and spin and churn. So I'm going to take it apart. I'm going to pull that pump out. I bought a dedicated parts washer pump. At least it's advertised as a dedicated parts washer pump. We're going to pop it in there and see if it does any better. Let me get some things set up and be right back with you. Okay. As I said, that's a fountain pump, and it clearly states it's a fountain pump on the sticker on the pump. So, you know, again, you get what you pay for. You get what you pay for. So this came off of Amazon. 20-gallon parts washer pump, Black Bull replacement pump. 4.4 gallons per minute of solvent, it says. Of solvent. Now, you take it out. Box. And how it's identical to the one that's already in there. Oh, could be made by the same 8-year-old Chinese kid as far as I know. Jebao. See right there? Submersible fountain pump. Doesn't say a damn thing on there about solvent, does it? I don't have a whole lot of hope that this one's going to do any better than that one. I guess we will see. I guess we'll see. Okay. Let me get back with you as soon as I get a little further on down the line. Okay, here we have our pumps. Here's the old one. Pump AP 2000. UL listed. Now who knows if that's true. 120, 60, 43 watts, 2.2 Q max. Don't operate without water. And here's the replacement. Submersible fountain pump. See, when that one came, the packaging said fountain pump. But the new one, the packaging says it's a parts washer pump for solvent. Specifically for solvent. So, like I said, probably made in the same damn factory. 120 volts, 60 hertz. Part number PP-399 in Nora. Otherwise, everything screws right back in, just as it did on the other one. Hey, this is real simple to swap out. Let me get her swapped out. Got some mess to clean up over here. And see about getting it put back together. I'll back in a bit. So I'll see you then. Okay, I got this thing buttoned up, ready to go back in. This is pretty much idiot proof. The black and the white unplugged from the on-off switch that comes through the wall and out the side, and then you ground the ground, and it just goes in. It kind of hangs on 2 slots here, and then the hard line that comes out of here comes over, comes out through here, elbow up, rubber hose. And it does come with a really thin filter that's in here, but I went ahead and just took a piece of Scotch-Brite, Scotch-Brite Brillo pad, and put it over the top of that as well. There, you can see it in there. And just for a little bit more filtering before it hits the pump. Let me get this mess wiped out down here, and then I think I'm ready to pop that back in and get it screwed back on. Yeah. Okay, be right back. Okay, we got the pump back in. I've modified mine a little bit. I've got a 12-volt fuel pump back here that pumps the solvent out of the container up and in, and then it gravity drains with this valve when I drain the tank. And then when this circulates up here for the brush, normally runs through this filter, kind of cut down on some of the buildup. But I bypassed that just to see if this is going to work today. I'll be back whenever it's full. Well, I'll wrap this up. The replacement pump, they're supposed to be self-priming. They're not. But I found a way to get around that, and it works. As far as the modifications over here, this is the 12-volt fuel pump that fills the tank from the storage container. And then this is just a Fram filter to filter the solvent as I'm using it to hopefully increase the life of the solvent. But it leaks, and I have messed with it and messed with it and messed with it, and it's leaking up here. Aluminum fittings going into aluminum housing, and they leak. And I've done it with plumber's tape, I've done it without plumber's tape, and they still leak. I have replaced the hoses just in case maybe the hoses were leaking. They're not leaking. So either the 2 fittings are bad, or the milling on the housing here is bad. I can't come up with any other ideas as to why the damn thing keeps leaking. And frankly, I'm tired of messing with it. And when I use this thing, I usually use it in batches, so it'll be used for 2 or 3 days, and then it may sit for months. It's plenty good enough for me. I'm just going to throw a pan down there with some Kin Dry in it, and I'll live with it. I'll live with it. As you can see, the brush is kicking out the solvent. That's all good. Amazon on the brush. It just goes on the stock flexible metal hose, and then down underneath is my drain. And to drain this thing is as simple as turning the recirculation pump off. Recirc pump's in here. Bill pump there. And then coming underneath and open the valve. And it tends to drain quicker with a little gap here. And then when filling, the same thing. When you're filling, it causes a vacuum in there. I just shove an old screwdriver in there while I'm filling and draining. And then there's a Brillo pad. There's a threaded hole here in the bottom that is the drain. And I just lay one of those Brillo pads over the top of it. And that picks up a good amount of the really heavy stuff that doesn't get picked up and run through this pad or the filter behind it or that Fram filter. The heavy particulates stay in the tank. When she's completely drained and dry, I take a couple paper towels, wipe it out nice and clean, put it back in its hole until it's needed again. That pretty well wraps up this little video. Really wasn't much to it. Just showing you what I'm doing. This is again, this is just a day in my life, and this needed addressed, and I got most of it fixed until I come up with a better idea on the filter there. I hate to buy another mount just to have the same problem. The only other thing I could think of possibly would be to buy a couple of these in brass and try them, see if it doesn't leak then. But otherwise, I'm pretty content just to walk away from it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you decide to do modifications like this to yours, do what I did. Google it and search it on YouTube, and there's God's plenty of videos out there on how to do exactly this. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.